Hi, this is Lisa Hayes with Dreams for Society and Dreams for You Coaching. Today is December 2015, and I'm going to talk about a cloud or clouds today. What in the world do you think I'm thinking of? Well, I am thinking of clouds that hover around us. We may see or feel them, and they contain our emotions. Not really our emotions, but emotions and feelings that we can tap into. I feel, and what's true to me is in this realm, we have a limited amount of emotions and feelings that we create with. We have an infinite amount of stories in which we can create with the feelings and emotions. But what's true to me is that we have a finite spectrum from dark on one side to light on the other that we create with. So hate's on one end and love is on the other. Misery is on one end and joy is on the other. And there's no right or wrong. It's just the ability to remember how to tap into which ones that we can choose, that we have the ability to choose whatever we want on that pole, that spectrum. And those feelings, emotions of misery or joy are not attributable to me or you or anything. They're just hovering around in this realm in a cloud. And we may feel anger just on our own accord because we've unconsciously, let's say, tapped into it. That is a great opportunity for us because now we are aware of the anger and we are now remembering how to tune into the frequency of that emotional vibration or feeling. Tune into the joy of that misery, that the misery is really joy. We can tune into that frequency. It's not about transmuting the misery into joy or denying the misery or escaping from the misery or protecting ourselves from the misery. It's just about remembering that the misery is really joy, and we tune into the frequency of that energetic vibration. And that's what we're here to remember. That's really our life purpose, is to remember that the dark is simply the light forgotten, that misery is simply joy forgotten. And we're not to blame ourselves and attribute this misery to us or to attribute this misery to a loved one and just say, get the heck out of Dodge. We're here to remember that once we see and feel the misery in that cloud, it just wants us to remember it's really joy. It wants us to love it. It's just as simple as that. It's not always easy. Next time when you feel you have to protect yourself, when you feel you're attributing anger to someone or yourself, it's not you, it's not them. We're all perfect light beings. It's just this magical thing that has happened where we're now aware that this feeling or emotion is really outside here hovering. Even though everything is within, let's just talk about it being out here in this cloud, in this realm. In this realm, we've got this potpourri of emotions and feelings to create with and utilize in any story, which is, the stories are infinite. Again, the feeling and emotions are finite, and we're all feeling those feelings and emotions regardless of the story. That's why it's so interesting to us that we see someone's house burnt down and they don't seem to be as miserable as we think we would be because we're miserable over a pimple on our nose. That misery about a pimple on our nose, I know this is an extreme example, and the misery about someone having their house burnt down, the misery they're feeling, that misery may be the same intensity. It matters not the story. It's just we've tapped into this misery that is asking us to remember it's truly joy, that we can tune into the frequency of joy. It's as simple as that. I leave that with you to ponder. Until the next time, love and joy, Lisa.